how he had expected every upward lurch of the bow to tumble the boat over, every trough between the waves to take them to the bottom. He remembered waves higher than a boat's gunwales, the spray soaking him to the skin. He remembered fretting about getting ashore without making a fool of himself, and then having to prove, day after day, that he could catch fowl as well as the rest, and having no bed to sleep on, and never a mother about for comfort at night. Poor little Davy. Not the biggest birdie in the nest. And bless him. Look, thought Quill. He has on his socks already, in place of his boots, all ready to climb. Davy looked too green, in every sense of the word, to stand up to Kenneth and his bullying. But when he puked, he chose to do it in Kenneth's lap. An inspired revenge, thought Quill appreciatively. They passed Stack Lee and got their first unhindered view of the place where they would be living for the next few weeks. John began to drum on the boards with his feet, and the rest joined in, until Mr. Kane, a reliable killjoy, told them to stop their noise or they would wake every dead sailor from his resting place. The clatter died away, and Quill saw the youngest boys cast little superstitious glances over the side, in case dead sailors were a serious possibility. Warrior Stack grows bigger the closer you get. You would swear it was pushing its way upwards, a rock whale pitching its whole bulk into the sky, covered in barnacles, aiming to swallow the moon. Nearby Borarray has big patches of green grass on it, but Warrior Stack is so big and so dark that all the fowl of the air since creation haven't been able to stain it. It looms there, as black and fearful as one horn of the devil himself, and it teems with birds. To reach the landing place, the skipper had to round the base of the sea stack, passing right underneath the bulging shelf called the overhang, where a never-ending sleet of bird droppings pours down. The boat fell silent as each man and boy, except Kenneth, shut his mouth tight. Look up there, Davy, said Kenneth, pointing urgently upwards. But Davy had the wit not to fall for that one. No one looks up while he is under the overhang, so only Kenneth caught a faceful. For Quilliam, though, the overhang was not the worst part of the voyage. That was a landing stage. The sea swell slops up and over a bumpy jut of tilting rock. Getting ashore is a game you don't even try unless the wind is square on from the northeast. The old men back home talked about the stacks as if they were just larders, crammed with fowl put there by God expressly to feed the people on Hurta. But had they not been afraid, in their young days, when they went fowling on the Warrior? Had they never feared the jump from boat to cliff? The bow rises and falls so fast that the rock face seems to rush up and down in front of your eyes. The spray flies fit to blind you, and there's maybe a piece of kelp you'll land on, slippery as soap, and you'll lose your footing and go down between the boat and the rocks. There again, maybe Quill, like Davy, was just a scaredy mouse. Mr. Don, barefoot and with a rope tied round his body, to fetch him back aboard if he fell, and the boat's mooring rope wrapped around his wrist, balanced precariously on the bow, and steeled himself for the jump. The stack rose sheer in front of them, looking like the impregnable wall of a castle keep, and yet Domhnall Don made stepping ashore look easy. The fowling party formed a line in the boat. Mr. Farris and Mr. Kane at the front, then Murdo, then Quilliam, then Kenneth, and so on in order of height. Callum, Lachlan, John, Ewan, Neil, and Davy. They had not only themselves to get ashore, but sacks, nets, coils of rope and wicks, baskets, clubs, and a battered saddle. A small, cold hand took a grip on Quill's